Now, from Buffalo Wild Wings, here's Bob Burnell.
Here we go, week 2 of the Titan Tuesday get-together at Buffalo Wild Wings. We're glad to have you on board tonight, either in studio or listening in or listening anywhere in the world on the iHeartRadio Nation app. We've got Pat Cerroni to talk with us. Caleb Voss is coming up. Sean Mayerbock also is going to be along with us in that second segment. We'll talk with the head coach of the women's soccer team as well. Erin Coppernoll joins us. Head coach Pat Cerroni alongside. We're back from Iowa. I'm doing fine. I'm about 5-10 pounds lighter after Saturday afternoon.
Well, I think we all are.
It's a little tough down there, but as old men. I will say this going in. I think we learned one thing down in Pella, Iowa. Number one, Central Iowa is a good football team. Secondly, we just can't take things for granted. They were up big at halftime. We had a great comeback. And I got to ask you, was it a case maybe where we were overconfident coming in? What exactly do you think?
I don't think it wasn't overconfidence at all. I told you they were going to come out and punch us right in the face, and that's exactly what they did. Give them credit. They're a great football team. They have great tradition. They don't lose a lot at home, Bob. That was a big win for our program, and the guys around Division III football understand that that's a tough place to play. And very proud of our team and our coaches for just maintaining. We weren't too high. We didn't get too low. The heat was horrible for both teams. But in the end, I think we're a pretty good football team, like I said, and Nicola got rolling in the second half. But we could have easily lost that game. Give them all the credit. They came back after last year's debacle, you could say, and did a great job. So
you came
just excited for our guys.
You had the ball to start the second half. I said at the time on the radio that this was a do-or-die time for you. You needed to get something going, and you responded.
Well, it's because you said it on the radio. It was
Definitely.
do or die because, everyone said, what'd you say at halftime? I don't yell at these guys. They know it. They're men. And it was going to take us some time to get it rolling. And once we got rolling, as you see, it's tough to stop that group.
Definitely is.
They're good athletes.
A couple of big plays defensively. We should go to that. Austin Blaschka had a couple of interceptions. He was named today the player of the week in the conference. But the defense, when you needed them to, they stepped up time and time again in the second half.
No doubt. Dexter Charles had a big stop on third down on the goal line right before they kicked that field goal. And, you can question why they kicked the field goal. It doesn't matter to me what decisions they made, but it worked out for us in the end.
Dexter Charles is an interesting story. He was over at Oshkosh West. I think he spent some time at Oshkosh North. He's been out of football for a while.
Long time.
How do you land in the program? What's his status as far as eligibility? And you got to be happy to have a kid who goes 6'7", 265 pounds, who is an animal up front.
I'm just happy for Dexter as a person. I think he's come a long way. And he's eligible for school, obviously. He's a really good student, and, he put himself in this position and worked very hard to get back. And hopefully this community supports him, and we just want to, keep him going here because he's pretty special. He's a special person. He's a good guy.
He's a good kid. And I know he's had some knocks in life, and it's been tough for him. But it's nice to see he's landed somewhere. I think he's 23 years of age now, which doesn't make him a very young freshman at all.
I don't think he's that old.
Let's talk about
I'll ask him.
When we move from week 1 to week 2, we see a lot of improvement. What types of things you've been working on this week?
That's what everyone's telling me. I heard that earlier today from Coach Vinay, my buddy and your buddy.
Yep.
And he said, the biggest improvement.
Buddy, he's our best friend now.
Well, you and I both. But, he said we get better for, the biggest improvement is week 1 to week 2. And we're going to need it because Marion's a very good football team.
The Knights are defending champions in NAIA football.
Yeah.
Not everybody's NCAA. They have a lot of private schools, a lot of religious schools that are NAIA and have been for years and years and years. And last year, the Knights were national champions. They were the top team around. And I look at the numbers. They're impressive. They got size. They've got quickness. They got a good running back, an excellent quarterback.
It's 2 great football teams in 2 weeks that we're going to play. And then we're going to need a couple weeks to heal after that.
You look at it, what are they doing well? I know they're 1 win, 1 loss. What does Marion do well?
Oh, they have probably one of the best running backs in NAIA. The kid is awesome, number 10. You'll see him Saturday.
That's Lake, and I can't remember. I think it's Telvin Lake, their running back.
And then number 3, the wide receiver. Wow, what a great athlete. And they just have 3 other wide receivers that are pretty good. The tight ends, are very good blockers. So, we're up against a huge challenge defensively, very fast. So, we play a lot of good teams, Bob, and it's fun.
Pat Cerroni along with his head football coach, UW Oshkosh. 1 win, no loss after the win over Central Iowa. And I think when they take on a UW Oshkosh, number one, we're a ranked team. I mean, the Titans are ranked number 10 as of this week. They get up for that. I noticed that down at Central as well. These smaller private schools, they like when the state boys come down. They got a little chip on their shoulder. They want to settle some things while they're out there on the field.
There's no doubt about it. We have the target on our back, and it's going to be a long year for us. And the key for us is to stay healthy. And with the heat last week, we even had guys sitting out today still from the heat of last Saturday. It was so brutal. But, hey, I know the two guys you're going to talk to are going to show up every week and play hard. And pretty much every senior you're going to talk to in this next 10 weeks is going to sell their soul for Titan football, and a lot of pride right now.
Now, you talked about being a little concerned about the defense going in. They gave up some points in the first half of play, but how do you feel about them after one weekend? The linebackers, I know we were concerned about the young linebackers.
Yep, and Sean did a great job Saturday, and so did Reese. Those are the two guys that we started, and Brock came in and did a nice job, Brock Reichert. So, I mean, it was exactly how you wanted it. It wasn't pretty at first, but we ended up playing some Titan football in that second half, and Nick throwing 365 yards. You know, Caleb getting we almost scored a touchdown there.
Yeah, I'm going to talk with Caleb out there because it seemed like in a couple of plays he had broken open, yet the throw was a little overthrown for some reason. It was windy down there. It was hot.
No, that's just Nick. I mean, you sit out for 4 years of playing football, and you're going to be a little rusty. And it's just good that he got that opportunity to come back and win a game for us. And we grew a lot last Saturday, and you know it. You've watched us play a lot, and I think the first half we didn't know who we were, but in the second half, once again, you saw that explosiveness, both defensively and offensively.
Much like the Packers, the frustration with the offense that you have is if it's not clicking, you're not out there very long. The time of possession at halftime favored the Dutch quite a bit, and if you're not clicking on all cylinders, it's a quick 3 and out a lot of times. It only takes about 45 seconds, and then you're back with the defense out there. They get gassed, and it becomes more and more difficult for you as the day goes on.
They had basically a year to prepare for that game, because we weren't going to change. So they did change things up a little bit, caught us off guard. But once again, doesn't matter when you got great athletes, they come back and win.
Well, what is the schedule this week? You guys headed out on Friday again, going to go most of the way?
Friday morning we're leaving. We've got a practice down at a high school in Indiana. Okay. One of our coaches, Austin Archer, I'll give Austin a big shout out. He used to coach high school down there a year ago, and we're stopping there to practice, and then we'll head to the hotel and play Marion on Saturday. So
it's going to be a 12 noon game. They're on East Coast time, even though they're maybe 300 miles to the east of us. They're still on the East Coast time. So we'll start the pregame show at about 11:40. You and I will talk prior to that, and then get things underway about 12 noon. And looking forward to it. Reese, I want to get back to him because he's a freshman linebacker.
Freshman.
I mean, is he a true freshman or is he a great?
He's a 1 year removed freshman.
All right, but he had a great game. Austin had a big game defensively, came up with a couple of interceptions. We had a little bit of a problem on the offensive line. I know the starting center went down. What's the status on the offensive line?
We'll find out more, but he won't play this week, but we'll find out more about Anthony.
All right. We're going to take our break here. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. I'm going to come back. We've got Sean. We've got Caleb. You want to say nice things about him? Because this may be the only time, guys.
Well, I'm going to say nice things about Caleb's dad, Brian, because he's such a good man. And complaining after the game about Caleb's stats, that's kind of ridiculous. So, just joking.
All right, we're back again on a Tuesday. Buffalo Wild Wings. A lot for the guys coming up here. We got Caleb Voss and Sean Mayerbock joining us. Linebacker, wide receiver, familiar with you both. And let's just get your feelings, Sean, first of all, about the game. First came out for you at a starting linebacker position. How did it go for you on Saturday?
It was good. It was definitely, I was very nervous going into it. But once the first quarter was ended, definitely got a lot more used to it. It felt good.
It was hot. It was humid, it was nasty, and even I had a hard time getting through the game. How was it to play the game?
Yeah, it was definitely hot out there. We gotta give a shout out to all the backups. Anytime we needed rest, everyone came in. Everyone was ready to go.
You traveled with only 66 down there, unlike Central, who brought everybody out of the dorms. I think they had about 500 kids on the sideline.
Yeah,
it makes it a little rough when you look across the way and see they got 2 times the force as you do.
Yeah, it is. It's something.
Caleb Voss back for a senior year, big year last year. You want to start with that? Last year, biggest catch of the year, maybe out of Linfield, Oregon. Can we relive that moment?
Yeah.
That was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good time out in Linfield. We had good play there at the end and got out of there with the win. So.
As I remember, you caught it with one hand, going out to the sideline. Tell us about the play. Nate led you just a bit. You stuck it and ran down the sideline for the score late in the game.
Yeah, I think I caught it with my right hand, kind of tiptoed the sidelines. A bunch of guys thought I stepped out, but good thing the referee didn't think that.
Well, thank goodness we don't have to go back and relive that again, because it was an exciting moment. Last year, what did it mean to you, the long run into the playoffs, and what does it mean to the program as a whole?
It's really helped our guys focus on working in the weight room. I think that was a big thing this year. It was really cool to see everybody wanted to get back to being in that position again. So it's good to see all these guys working hard. Everybody wants to get back to that and wants to get further than we did last year.
Sean, this first game here, was it kind of a wake-up call? Because last year we went out 41 points on Central. This time around we're down by 17 at halftime. Was it kind of a wake-up call that you just can't go out there and expect the same things as last year?
I think it was a good thing. It was good for our team. It was good experience. Let us know that we're not invincible, and we are a different team. Even though we got a lot of the same guys back, we're a different team this year.
And as far as can we get something a little closer to home? Seriously, man, these are long road trips. If we're not going to fly to them, it's a long time to be in a bus, isn't it?
It's good to get competition, so we have to go a little bit further to get some competition.
One of the problems is a lot of schools over in Minnesota and a lot of schools down in Iowa, they just don't want to take on teams from the WIAC. They respect the fact that these are some of the top football teams in the country we have up here.
Yeah, I know it was. I think it was hard for our coaching staff to find a third non-conference game this year for us.
Last year we went in, as I remember, it was a 12-hour trip to Michigan to Alma. Now we're going down to Indianapolis, taking on a team named Marion. When I looked at the schedule, I said, this is great. I'm down to Fond du Lac for about a half an hour. You can visit the folks, Caleb, and then we'll just turn around and go home.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not the case at all. As far as the Knights, Sean, what do you guys know about the Knights? What do they do well?
They're a great team. The running back, as Coach Cerroni was already saying, he's phenomenal. I think we're ready for it though. They got a big team. They're definitely bigger than what we've seen so far. But we'll be ready.
All right, and anything offensively you're going to try to put in this week? Maybe you didn't have last week, Caleb. Do you expand the game plan as a result of having more practice time?
Yeah, we do. Each week our offense gets more and more advanced, and one thing I know, it's not supposed to be as hot, so that'll be a plus for us.
A little fall weather for football wouldn't be bad at all. I wanted to talk about the jersey because I played back in the day. My God, the jerseys are so much smaller than they used to be. I mean, we used to have a tail on it, and it would get down around your knees. The bigger, the better. You fit your girlfriend in there after the game, fine and dandy. Well, what's up with these uniforms these days? I mean, these are game uniforms that you're wearing here. There's nothing to grab when you go by.
I think the players are getting bigger, so.
Oh, is that the case?
Yeah. The same stuff.
That's what the wide receiver tells me, that players are getting bigger.
It's nice. It's nice in the game, but when we're sitting here at Buffalo Wild Wings, I don't know how it.
If you got the arms like Alex Smith did last week, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That's all we got to do. So
I wish we had more. We got Sean Mayerbock along with Caleb Voss. Caleb, let's talk about, you're from Fond du Lac. You came here to Oshkosh. Was it Fondy Springs you played for?
No, I played for Winnebago Lutheran.
That's it. Okay, Winnebago Lutheran. And the decision to come here and play here?
I was going to go to Whitewater, actually, but, John Dinsey and Coach Cerroni, just real down-to-earth guys, and I felt like we were going to win here. And
you were right.
They told me we were going to beat Whitewater someday, so we came here, and last year we beat them. So.
And you wanted to be a part of that. Your dad's involved in football too, right?
Yeah, he likes watching. So.
He likes watching?
Yeah.
Well, everything you learned came from him, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's what my dad says about me. Everything he's learned came right from me. Sean, where are you from?
I'm from Chicago.
From the Chicago area?
Yes.
So you're going to see some family on the way down there, or are they coming down to Indy?
They're going to try to make it down. We're not sure yet. They gotta try to see if they can pack up and go. But
all right. Well, do they get to many games at all?
Yeah, they do. They'll make it to all the conference games. So.
How did you find out about UW Oshkosh? Why here?
I was researching. I wanted to play in the WIAC. That was a big thing for me. I like the teams. I fell in love with the coaching staff, Coach Jen Broughton. That was a big thing for me, and fell in love with the school and wound up here.
What are you doing while you're here? You can't play football 24/7. What are you majoring in? What's the plan after this?
I'm a psychology major, but I'm also in ROTC. So after this, I plan on commissioning as an Army officer.
Great. And Caleb, what's the plan for you?
Criminal justice major.
Oh, another one of those.
Yeah.
This is where I get my free pass later in life. If you ever pull me over late at night, remember.
Yeah, I got too many people saying that now, so. But, I hope to be in law enforcement.
Yeah, would you want to be an officer? What do you want to do?
Yeah, more to the officers, so.
Now, there are quite a few guys on the football team who are part of the law enforcement program at UW Oshkosh. Apparently, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do after football. It's get the lifting in, so it's nice.
There you go. And I know there's some talk about maybe you playing after college somewhere. At least that's the buzz I hear about you from time to time, that some people may give you a look.
Yeah, that would be cool. I want to play as long as I can and be the best I can be, so we'll see where it takes me.
Best of luck coming up on Saturday. Again, an early wake-up call for you. It's going to be East Coast time, so we'll get things underway about 11:40 for the pregame show, 12 noon for the play-by-play, and hope to bring back another victory. It's nice to be number 10 in the country, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not as good as number 4, though. Or, for that matter, number 3 or number 2 or even number 1.
We'll work our way up. Yeah.
You'll work your way up.
We get the long seasons.
That's the attitude you need. Erin Coppernoll, an old friend, is back again for another season of women's soccer. Do you feel that way?
No.
You don't feel like it's been a while that we've been together here on the radio talking about the season?
Seems like yesterday, I guess.
Seems like yesterday. That's a good thing to know. Tell me about it. What do we got back? What are we looking forward to? What are the hopes and dreams of the soccer team for UW Oshkosh?
Mm-hmm. We just like to come out and play a good kind of soccer every game and get some wins.
Where do you stand right now on the season?
We're 0-3-1.
0-3-1, so we're still looking for the first W?
We are.
What happened in the first few games? Obviously, you were outscored. I don't need to know that, but what happened?
We have a very tough schedule.
Yeah.
We are playing, in the first 7 matches, 5 teams that made the NCAA tournament last season. So we are going to be challenged early. In several of those early games, we led on the box score. But if you can't score goals, you can't expect to win soccer games.
Well, that's how it goes. No matter how good the defense is, if it's 1-0, it's still 1-0. You don't have any scores. Young team, or is it a veteran team? What do you got?
Probably half and half.
Okay. So you have some girls with some experience. They know what the WIAC season's all about. They know what's coming ahead as far as the conference. And did you plan to play a little tougher competition this time around early? Was that by design?
Yeah, I put together this tough schedule so that we would be prepared for conference. And in order to be a good team, we have to beat a good team. So we're still looking for that. And these early losses and ties will help us once conference play rolls around.
Well, you know what you're doing there. I'm not going to question that. It'd be easy to take out a lot of bad teams and win a lot of games and then get into conference and say, oh, my goodness. The difference between the conference and sometimes the non-conference schedule is dramatic. But if you equalize it or make it even tougher during non-conference, makes things down the road a whole lot easier for you.
Absolutely.
Give me an idea. Who's going to be good in the conference this year when you get to the conference schedule?
Whitewater is the returning champion. They've won the last 2 or 3. They'll be strong. Eau Claire will be strong as well.
Okay, so those are the 2 top teams. And is everybody else kind of in the mix?
Yeah, I think everybody else is in the mix. It just depends on who, if you're playing them at home or away and what time of the season you get them.
What's your anticipation? What do you see in the lineup, UW Oshkosh and the WIAC then?
Well, our goals are to win conference. We've never won a WIAC conference title, so we're hoping for that.
Erin Coppernoll is our guest, head women's soccer coach. You've had some good players come through here, haven't you, over the years? Some excellent players for the program?
Yeah.
Could use some of those coming back. Unfortunately, their eligibility ran out for you.
Yeah, we have a talented, smaller senior group this year, but my freshman class is pretty talented as well. So, we'll be strong for a while, but continue to recruit every year.
Now, how tough a job is it recruiting at the D3 level? It's not like you can go through the door with a fistful of money and say, hey, come with us. How tough is it to get kids to come to school, in essence, pay for school, and then want to play some type of sport, be it during the week or on weekends or both in your case?
It's certainly a challenge, but there's kids out there that are looking to still play competitive ball, and the conference is a great conference to play in. So you just got to do your homework and find the right fit.
Yeah, we heard from Sean that he came up from Chicago, and in talking with kids, it's not just only Wisconsin that UW Oshkosh recruits or gets players from. They come from all over the place. Gymnastics is a perfect example of that. Those gals come in from all over the country, Arizona, New Jersey, and it's still D3 competition for them.
Yeah, we tend to get a lot of Wisconsin kids.
Well, that's good. That's good. You had success playing soccer over the years. You're a local gal from right down the road here at Oshkosh West, then eventually on to UWGB. So you know what you're talking about when it comes to soccer. What about Mexico and USA tonight? You got any idea what's going on in that one? That's men's
Yeah,
soccer.
I think there's a few USA starters that are out because of yellow card.
Well, that was baloney. I saw that this afternoon. That was a baloney call against it. And then I would use other language when we're here at Buffalo Wild Wings and you're a lady. That was a bad call to get them the Do you think soccer's catching on? It seems like every kid in town plays soccer. My kids, they were a little older. They didn't play soccer. But, you know, I talked to my friends. Oh, go soccer meet again this weekend. We got soccer Saturday. Lockdown for the day at the field. Is it becoming more popular than it has been even?
I think so, especially for the youth. It's just a nice sport that a lot of kids can play at one time. You know, certain areas of the state are better than others, but I think it's becoming more and more popular.
Is Fox Valley pretty good as far as the state goes?
Yeah, it's getting much better. Compared to when I grew up. Madison and Milwaukee are still...
How did you get going? I mean, you were an exceptional player. What was the deal that you were so good here at Oshkosh? Well, you played at the D1 level. I can't take that away from you. You played D1. How were you so good compared to everybody else? It just happened?
I played against the boys. They didn't have girls'
well,
games.
That's, usually the greatest athletes I've ever talked with are always the youngest brother or the youngest daughter, and they were beat up on continually for 18 years, and by the time they're playing at the varsity level, they're going to go on to college because they had all this competition that was older and better than them, starting from day one at the house. Next match is coming up when?
Tomorrow evening, or tomorrow afternoon.
Going to be here in town?
Yes, against Loris College.
Out of Iowa?
Yes.
So they had a long trip.
They do.
There you go. You know, that little sore leg on the way over there. You know, nothing like 5-6 hours on a bus to slow them down. And the first conference game for the Titans is when?
September 21st.
The 21st, so it's right around the corner.
Yes.
It's not too far away.
Next Saturday.
And who do you have at the opener?
Stout. At Stout.
At Stout, huh? When do you take on Whitewater at home? Do you know right offhand? Have that date circled on the calendar there in the office?
Last Wednesday in September.
Last Wednesday in September, so it comes very, very quickly. Now, how do they do the playoffs here in the WIAC? Are only certain teams allowed to go on, or what happens?
The top 6 go on for the tournament. 1 and 2 get the bye. 3 play 6, and 4 and 5 play.
Single elimination then once we get to the conference championship rounds?
Yep.
Perfect. Well, we wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Good luck tomorrow night against Loris. Even more luck to you as you start the conference schedule, and then, of course, when you take on Whitewater here. We're going to wrap things up for another Tuesday here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Thanks to Gary in-house producing our show tonight. Thanks to Cameron. Thanks to John, even though he didn't show up. Our 2 guests, Caleb, along with Sean, and head coach Pat Cerroni. We are along from Indianapolis, another long drive, but we're going to get over there 11:35, 11:36 for the pregame show. Just after 12 noon, the play-by-play begins. It's Marion University in UW Oshkosh. You hear it right here. A first home game for the Titans, by the way, not until the 28th of September. Can't believe we got to wait that long before we see a little Titan football at J.J. Keller Field. Take care, everybody. Thanks again to Gary back in studio. We'll see you soon here on WOSH.